Chat, today I wanted to talk about what I find to be one of the most embarrassing moments in the gaming sphere. And I know that probably a lot of you have specific guesses as to what that might be. It might be the VShojo stuff. It's not really exactly gaming adjacent, but it is still in the content creation sphere. That's not what I'm here to talk about. If you want to talk about VShojo bad. Awesome. That's it. That's not really a video that you can talk about. There's also the horse game I can't say it. I'll be honest. I can only say it after I've heard somebody say it. But the horse game being the most popular game on Steam and one of the most popular games on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store. It's just absolutely disgusting and I hate it. I really hate it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I wanted to talk about Splitgate 2 announcing that after its full release a little over a month ago, they're going back into beta. One of the most embarrassing things in gaming. And it wouldn't be all that embarrassing. It would just be something that gets talked about and then gets clowned on a little bit and then moves on. But the reason why it's one of the most embarrassing things in gaming is because of this. This is the CEO of the company on June 6th during Summer Games Fest, a big ceremony of games coming out this summer, going on stage and announcing that his game is out right now and you can go play it and it's free to play with a $140 skin. It was Make FPS Great Again. And it got a lot of backlash, as you're imagining, of people being upset that both people on the left being like, how dare you do that? That's so bad that Donald Trump hat is there. Also, Elon Musk, we don't like that guy. He's not good at gaming. Don't game or whatever. And the people on the right were like, yo, we love that because you're talking about our Donald guy and we love that. So we love that you like Donald. So everybody on every side of the aisle was talking about it. And then later that day, June 6th, Splitgate 2 and the CEO put out his picture and said, I'm not here to apologize, but I am here to clarify. This is not a political statement. It's quite literally what it says. Take it at face value. The state of multiplayer FPS is tragically stale. We hope that whatever you want, whether you want arena, battle royale, onslaught, or map creator, we can fix that. And then they apologized. And in my first video that I released about this over a month ago, the Splitgate 2 debate, we put on our tinfoil hats a little bit and we said, oh shit, do you think that this is all a marketing tactic? They did the marketing tactic to get everybody to talk about them on stage. And then once they got everybody on stage to talk about it, they then apologize so that it's then more of a marketing tactic because they keep themselves in the conversation. And they even talked about that a little bit in this apology. He talked about, like, we were one of like 50 or so trailers that were going to be shown at the event. We wanted to stand out in some way. So we knew that this was going to be a big thing that would get people talking about it. Right? So we were somewhat right that it was just kind of like one big way to stay in the zeitgeist, whatever. So it doesn't matter. All publicity is good publicity. And this was on June 10th, 4 days after the game released. And on June 11th, they tweeted out 3 million players. 3 million players. Amazing. That's awesome. But chat, I think they might be going into beta because if you look at their Steam charts, this was June 6th, June 7th, June 10th, June 11th when they made that tweet. They're quite down in the player base numbers. And I think this is very tinfoil hatty. I think that they do genuinely want to make their game great. But why would you make your game go back into beta? Like, that just feels a little bit weird, right? To take your game that's been out, is full released, to go back into beta. And they say that it's so that they don't have to fire a bunch of people at their company, but I also just don't understand from a logistical standpoint how that really does anything. And they put out a larger statement. We believe in Splitgate 2. The game means everything to us. It has been in our life for almost 10 years, starting in our dorm room, and we are committed that more than ever to delivering the incredible experience you deserve. We heard your feedback and we agree with you. We launched too early. We had too ambitious goals to Splitgate 2. And in our excitement to share it with you, we bit off more than we could chew. We rushed certain features, made some boneheaded mistakes, and more importantly, we didn't give you the polished, portal-filled mayhem that you love. See, like, this is my thing. If you really just cared about making the best game possible, you would do what Hello Games did, and you would just make the best game possible. No Man's Sky, right? No Man's Sky didn't, they just made the game better. Just patched the game. But the reason why I think you're going back into beta is so that you can do another 1.0 release and have more hype behind it, right? Because Splitgate 2 was in beta before Summer Games Fest. And so they're going back into beta so that they can make the changes to their game, and then they can come back out and they can go, look, we're re-releasing our game. It's a re-grand opening, Bob's Burgers style, I guess. And I don't like this line at the end. Now more than ever, we need your help. We're returning to our roots in what we build, and now in how we build it, with you. That means more playtests, more surveys, more listening. And listen, I like that. I like surveys. I like community listening. But it literally this reads like, please be our QA testers. We're going back into beta. We don't want to hire QA testers. Please be our QA testers. And I just always personally hate that. Hire QA testers. That's like, QA is important to games. But I also understand that you're an indie company, and I just don't like that that you say that out loud. That it's like you're putting pressure on your community of, hey, we need you. I don't like that. I just don't like you putting pressure on your community. It's just not my thing. So I think overall, that is why I find it so embarrassing, is because they came out swinging. They were extremely cocky, right? They said the FPS market right now fucking sucks.
And you want to know what I think is really funny about that? You know what I think is funny about that? You know what I said? You know what I think is funny about the state of FPS games sucks right now when they say that? This is Splitgate 2.
What game was out at the time that Splitgate 2 was coming out? Splitgate 1. Damn. Anyways, more tinfoil hat. But either way, they just came out so cocky. For them to back down like this in such a big way, they're just going to continue to get clowned on. And I do find it embarrassing and funny, but also I wish them the best. At the end of the day, I'm going to take off my tinfoil hat. I wish every independent game company the best. I wish every small game company the best. I hope that they find their footing. I hope that when their game comes out, again, it's a free-to-play game, and for free-to-play games to succeed as a live service game, they have to put out skins. They have to do those type of microtransactions that aren't necessarily predatory, that are just add-ons to the game that makes the player base that likes the game play it. So they need to maintain a high player base. It's a very hard market to get into. So I do wish them well, but you gotta take the clown. Now. There is some good news in this tweet that honestly was framed by a lot of the media in a bad light-ish. And it is that Splitgate 1 servers will be shut down next month. But your initial thought is, but we're wanting to stop kill games. We want to do that. And it appears that so does they. OG Splitgate servers down in a month in order to be saving costs because they're spending a lot of money on it. While we'd love to keep the servers indefinitely, it costs us hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past couple of years. We want to prioritize our team. Like us, we know this game means a lot to many of you, so we're exploring the possibility of supporting offline or peer-to-peer matches. So they are in the process right now of producing an end-of-life plan for Splitgate 1. So that is something that deserves a little golf clap. If they are able to produce that by the time that they turn off the servers and the game doesn't ever die, quote unquote, die, then we like that. We should give them the tip of our hat, our tinfoil hats, and we should celebrate that because that's genuinely really good, and that should be something that is never looked past. All right, we clown on people for doing their clown stuff. We should also celebrate people and companies when they do the right thing. It's the only way that things actually change for the better is if we celebrate and we call out the good ones, the good companies that are doing the right thing, so that we can point towards them and be like, look, they can do it, so can you. If this indie company can do it, EA, all Bandai Namco, all the other guys, Sega, whatever, so can you, right? You know, so yeah.
Arsonist on a noble quest to escape the wrath of the IRS. He's got conflicting positions in the endless fight for queer folks and